In this solution for the Action Bar and Navigation Lab exercise, we created a new project, Navigation Lab Exercise. Let's start by taking a look at the Android manifest for this solution. We see in this application we have three activities. The main activity, which is our launch activity for this application, an activity called Call Activity, an activity called Edit Activity. These two other activities will be started from user clicks on the action bar items that we have added to our main activity menu. The layouts for each of these activities contains a single text view containing different text for each activity, so we can easily identify which activity we are currently located in. Now let's jump over into our main activity Java and see the logic put in place for utilizing the menu in our action bar. Here we see the callback to onCreateOptions menu, where we inflate our menu for this main activity. Now let's take a look at the menu XML for the menu that we're using in the action bar for our main activity, the menu main XML. We see in the XML for this menu that we have three items. The first item, the settings action item, was auto-generated for us and has show action parameter set to never, so it will be delegated to our overflow menu. We have added two more items to the menu. The first has ID Action Edit and is set to show always with an icon of IC Action Edit. These icons were added from the resource found at developer.android.com/design/downloads/index.html. The third item is a call item with ID Action Call and will also be shown always with the icon IC Action Call. Now let's go back to our main activity and see how we deal with the click events on these items. In the auto-generated method on options item selected, we are able to receive callbacks when a menu item is pressed. The return boolean from this method will define whether the action is consumed by this callback or normal menu processing is allowed to proceed. If you notice, we return the true value for all of our callbacks to consume the action. In the main activity, we will get the callback for pressing the settings option from the overflow menu, and we'll simply return true and consume the event and do nothing. When the action edit item is pressed, we'll open the edit activity, and for the action call item, we will start the call activity as per the exercise requirements. Now let's jump over to the edit activity and see the continued flow of our application. In the Edit Activity menu, we have an option for Home, which is represented by the IC Action New icon set in the menu XML. When the item is clicked, we see that our onOptions item selected callback will be called, and we will create a new intent to the main activity, and we'll add a flag for flag activity reorder to front, so that the originally started activity will be brought to the top of the task for the application. Now let's run the application and see how this implementation is realized in the application. We see our main activity with our two action menu items, a pencil-like icon that will open our edit activity, and a phone-like icon that will open our call activity. Now let's press the call icon. And we see that the call activity has opened, and the menu has changed to the menu for the call activity, which is the default menu with only the settings item in the overflow menu bar. Now let's go back to the main activity and press the edit item. In the edit activity, we have a plus icon that will reopen our main activity by bringing it to the front of our task stack. Now, back in our main activity, we can reopen our edit activity for a second time. And if we click our plus icon again, we will again bring our main activity to the front of the task stack. Now if we go back through the activity history by using the back button, we see that the main activity was only on the top of the stack. And we have two instances of the edit activity. And once we click back from the second instance, we return to the main launch screen of the Android device. Thank you for joining us in this solution to the lab exercise for the Navigation Lab. Join us in our next lesson where we'll take a look at file storage in Android.